I did have one question. So Darren, Tyler, and I are all parents of young kids, and we understand the importance of strength training, and they're all into sports. But the question we get all the time is when's the good time? What does science say about kids getting into strength training? What does that say about that?
Yeah, we can talk as much as you all want about the long-term athletic development stuff. But the quick answer to that is you can start them as early as they have the cognitive ability to focus. So movement quality is paramount, right? This is actually sort of a question you asked earlier that I never truly answered, but yes, all through development, even up through high school, the primary focus should be moving well. Right? Learning to, the easy trope is this: learn to walk, learn to throw, learn to jump. Right? That's starting off number one. Learn to squat, learn to press, learn to pull. By pull, like a deadlift hinge kind of thing, right? Learn to snatch, learn to clean and jerk after that. And that's just a really easy way to think about athletic development. So if a kid can't properly jump, they shouldn't be snatching, probably. If they don't know the basic mechanics of running, they're probably not motor control ready to do, a bunch of complicated things like a clean and jerk. And I love those movements. But that's the basic idea. So going back to your actual question, the science is going to suggest that they have the ability to focus and understand when you teach them proper hinging, then it's good for them. If not, then give them another 6 months, give them another year. Right? If they're squirrely and they won't pay attention and you tell, all right, press, and they get into really bad positions, don't. But physically, it's not only okay, it's actually extremely beneficial to physical development for kids who start strength training as soon as possible. You're not going super heavy. You're not maximizing strength. You're not trying to get them stronger. And I will emphasize this, even through high school. You shouldn't be trying to necessarily maximize strength.
Really? Even through high school?
Oh, you can still use strength. You can still go heavy. All those are true. But the goal is to not maximize strength, because puberty is going to do most of that work for you.
Yeah.
There you go.
So I was literally going to make a joke. I was like, wait a minute. So you're telling me what Karen told me, that squats are going to stunt your growth, is not true?
I mean, we have so much, honestly, it's so annoying. We have so much science.
Yeah.
And it's not even like, well, it's mixed and you're on one side. It's all.
Yeah.
It's all. And you can Google for parents out there if you want. The NSCA, so National Strength and Conditioning Association, they have what are called position statements, which is all the scientists in the area of strength training for kids kind of get together and say, collectively, what do we agree on? And they put it out in these free papers. So they're not behind a paywall. You don't have to be a scientist to get them. So if you just Google their position stand on strength training in youth, you'll get not only all the science behind this, but then you'll get the actual recommendations. What exercises, how many reps, how many sets, how heavy, how much rest. It's all laid out completely free. And those guidelines for power development, for strength development, for hypertrophy, which is muscle growth, NSCA position statements, and several others. And the science is very, very clear. Again, it does not stunt growth. It does the opposite. It generally enhances growth. It is, again, not bad for bone. It's typically showed to be beneficial for bone quality, almost always. But this lays under the assumption that you're moving them, that they're moving well, that they're under supervision. And the single biggest factor with injury in young kids with either strength training or even things like plyometrics or sport is volume. So if you've got your 8-year-old in soccer and then also going to volleyball at night, and then you have them with the personal strength coach 3 times a week and then a speed coach on the weekends, well,
inevitably,
you know where that's going to go.
True.
So just keep a mindful eye on volume. Be reasonable with volume. And the sort of sneaky back part about volume is where volume gets people is in repetition over movement. So what I'm saying is, if you have a kid doing the exact same thing, now you're going to have problems because you're doing the same movement and the same movement pattern over and over and over and over and over. You could do that same total volume if you did it with 2 different types of movements and you'd be just fine.